For decades, fans have wondered what really went on behind the cameras of Lost in Space. Rumors, whispers, and unconfirmed stories circulated, painting a picture of chaos and intrigue that no one could verify. Until now. Marta Kristen, the woman who captivated audiences as Judy Robinson, has waited over 50 years to set the record straight. At 80, she is finally breaking her silence, revealing the truth about the battles, the secrets, and the untold drama that unfolded on one of television's most iconic sets. This is the story behind the cameras, the friendships tested, the rivalries ignited, and the revelations fans have been waiting for since 1965. Long before the blinking lights, the clanging of spaceship doors, and the famous catchphrases that would echo in television history. Marta Kristen's life was defined by resilience, ambition, and a determination to carve out a place in a world that was anything but easy for an aspiring actress. Born in Norway and having spent part of her youth in Germany, Marta faced the turbulence of a post-war Europe that shaped her worldview, her discipline, and her work ethic. She immigrated to the United States as a teenager, carrying not only dreams of Hollywood, but also the quiet weight of a past marked by displacement, struggle, and the search for belonging. Those early years in California were not filled with glamour. They were filled with auditions, rejections, and relentless competition. Agents, casting directors, and industry gatekeepers presented an often unwelcoming world, where newcomers from Europe were admired for their accents and looks, but frequently underestimated in talent and presence. Marta, however, refused to be defined by prejudice or circumstance. She worked tirelessly, taking small roles in commercials, modeling gigs, and minor television appearances to pay the bills, all the while honing her craft. Every line rehearsed, every expression perfected. Every role, no matter how minor, was a step toward the career she envisioned. Friends who knew her at the time recall a young woman who was disciplined yet fiercely kind, ambitious yet unpretentious, someone who radiated a quiet confidence that belied her age and inexperience. By the early 1960s, Marta had started to attract attention from producers looking for talent that could bridge the gap between youthful charm and dramatic skill. It wasn't long before she caught the eye of talent scouts who were casting the groundbreaking new television show Lost in Space, a series that promised to mix science fiction adventure with family dynamics in ways never seen on American TV. Marta's audition was meticulous. She understood that her role would not just be another character, it would be a figure of intelligence, bravery, and emotional depth, tasked with engaging both children and adults week after week. Casting directors noted her presence immediately. The subtle expressiveness of her eyes, the precise control of her voice, and the authenticity she brought to every line read. It was clear that she wasn't just acting. She was inhabiting a persona that demanded empathy, relatability, and courage. By the time Marta landed the role of Judy Robinson, she had not only achieved what many young actors only dream of, but she had also set the stage for decades of speculation, admiration, and eventually, the revelations she would provide at age 80. However, what the public did not know at the time, and what would remain largely unspoken for decades, was that behind the scenes, the production of Lost in Space was far from the idyllic, futuristic adventure the cameras captured. Rivalries, misunderstandings, and the intense pressures of weekly production shaped every actor's experience, and Marta, despite her talent and professionalism, was not immune to the stresses that come with being a young actress in a demanding and sometimes unforgiving environment. Her journey to Hollywood had prepared her for rejection, yes, but nothing could have fully readied her for the unique challenges of a sci-fi set where imagination met exhaustion, where camaraderie met competition, and where the public image of a perfect family in space often masked the complexities and conflicts behind the scenes. And while fans celebrated the episodes, the aliens, and the futuristic adventures, Marta quietly absorbed the lessons of patience, diplomacy, and resilience, learning to navigate a world where every smile on screen masked decisions, negotiations, and moments of tension off camera. Her story before Lost in Space is one of courage, persistence, and the unrelenting pursuit of a dream, laying the groundwork for the revelations she would courageously share decades later. A truth about the set, the relationships, and the experiences that shaped both her career and the legacy of a show that has endured in the hearts of millions. While Lost in Space captivated audiences with its imaginative sets, futuristic technology, and adventurous storytelling, the reality behind the cameras was far more complex, and Marta Kristen has now, at 80, confirmed what fans and insiders only speculated about for decades. The production was intense, the schedule grueling, and the pressure immense. Each week demanded flawless performances despite tight filming schedules, budget constraints, and technical challenges that often tested the patience of even the most seasoned actors. Marta, though young and relatively new to Hollywood, quickly realized that success on screen did not automatically translate to harmony off-screen. Conflicts arose between cast members, fueled by differing personalities, creative disagreements, and the stress of constant public scrutiny. Some actors struggled with jealousy over lines, screen time, and recognition, while others wrestled with the burden of being typecast into a genre that, while popular, came with the label of science fiction. Marta herself navigated moments of tension, learning to assert herself professionally without alienating colleagues or drawing negative attention from directors and producers. Crew members have recounted instances where minor disputes escalated quickly, revealing that the idyllic family unit seen on television was often at odds with the interpersonal dynamics backstage. Marta confirms that she witnessed favoritism from production staff, subtle exclusions during social events, and instances of miscommunication that left actors frustrated and sometimes disillusioned. These pressures were compounded by the physical demands of the set. Heavy costumes, elaborate props, and long hours under hot studio lights created an environment where exhaustion could quickly exacerbate conflicts. Marta's own experiences of fatigue and stress were matched by her dedication to maintaining professionalism, ensuring her performance remained strong while she silently navigated a web of rivalries and behind-the-scenes politics. She recalls moments when her co-stars would compete for the attention of the directors, or subtly undermine each other in order to gain prominence in particular episodes. In interviews decades later, Marta reflects on how these experiences taught her the importance of patience, empathy, and emotional intelligence in a high-pressure environment. Yet despite these challenges, Marta also witnessed acts of kindness, collaboration, and support that balanced the tensions, demonstrating the duality of human behavior in the creative process. It was this combination of conflict and camaraderie, pressure and triumph, that shaped not only her career but also her understanding of the entertainment industry, a world where appearances could deceive, where friendships were sometimes fragile, and where professionalism required both talent and emotional resilience. Fans have long speculated about on-set disagreements, whispered about rivalries, and questioned the authenticity of behind-the-scenes stories. Now, Marta Kristen's confirmation provides clarity. Yes, tensions existed. Yes, personalities clashed. But the outcome was always greater than the conflicts. The show went on, the episodes aired, and the characters she and her colleagues embodied left an indelible mark on television history. Her revelation also underscores the personal cost of creating something timeless, reminding audiences that behind every iconic moment is a series of human challenges, negotiations, and emotional sacrifices that rarely make it into the final cut. Marta's honesty about the Lost in Space set gives fans the full picture, a mix of drama, laughter, frustration, and growth, revealing a side of television history that had remained hidden for more than half a century, and explaining why her reflections today are as revealing as they are essential to understanding the legacy of one of the most beloved sci-fi series of all time. At 80, Marta Kristen has finally lifted the veil on the relationships, alliances, and rivalries that defined the Lost in Space cast, offering fans a rare glimpse into the human side of a show often remembered only for its adventure and futuristic thrills. According to Marta, The chemistry portrayed on screen did not always reflect the dynamics behind the cameras. She describes moments of tension with co-stars who were young, ambitious, and sometimes insecure, where disagreements about lines, screen presence, and direction could quickly escalate into silent standoffs or whispered critiques. Some cast members, she reveals, were genuinely supportive and collaborative, forming friendships that have lasted decades, while others were competitive in ways that left lasting emotional impressions on the younger actors. Marta also reflects on the pressures of working under the tight deadlines demanded by a weekly television schedule. The cast had to deliver convincing performances while often coping with malfunctioning props, set changes, and limited rehearsal time, a combination that could strain even the most seasoned professionals. Despite these challenges, Marta emphasizes that the actors who remained grounded, respectful, and focused on the work rather than ego were the ones who thrived, while those who allowed personal conflicts to dominate often found themselves isolated or misunderstood. She recalls instances where production staff and directors played favorites, amplifying tensions or inadvertently creating situations that fueled rivalry among the cast. These behind-the-scenes realities, she explains, required constant navigation, balancing ambition with diplomacy, asserting oneself without alienating colleagues, and managing emotions under the unrelenting gaze of cameras and crew. Marta's revelations also include reflections on the lighter moments, the camaraderie that emerged after long shoots, the laughter during bloopers, and the moments of genuine connection that made the experience memorable despite the challenges. She remembers group meals, shared jokes, and acts of kindness from cast and crew that reminded her why she had chosen this career despite its trials. Yet, it is the honesty about the struggles that resonates most. Marta confesses that at times, she felt misunderstood or underestimated, navigating both professional demands and the complex personalities of a cast and crew thrown together under high-pressure circumstances. The confession is poignant. For all the smiles, heroic lines, and familial moments captured on screen, there was a very real human story unfolding behind the scenes, one of resilience, compromise, and the effort required to maintain professionalism in an imperfect environment. And while some of the drama was fueled by youthful immaturity or simple miscommunication, Marta makes it clear that these experiences shaped her, taught her empathy, and strengthened her ability to navigate Hollywood. As both an artist and a person, today her reflections serve as both a revelation and a testament to the challenges of creating art collaboratively under extraordinary circumstances. She provides names, anecdotes, and the context necessary to understand the complex human ecosystem that allowed Lost in Space to become the cultural phenomenon it is today, even when the path was marked by tension, rivalry, and the unseen labor of compromise. If Marta's story of courage and truth behind the scenes moved you, like, subscribe, and comment below. Share your thoughts and memories of Lost in Space. After decades away from the constant lights and cameras of Hollywood, Marta Kristen reflects on the profound impact that Lost in Space had on her life, career, and personal growth. And at 80, she offers insights that go beyond nostalgia, revealing the lessons, triumphs, and consequences of being part of a groundbreaking television phenomenon. While the show brought her fame and a loyal fan base, it also shaped her understanding of the entertainment industry, teaching her resilience, diplomacy, and the importance of maintaining integrity in the face of intense scrutiny. Marta speaks candidly about the sacrifices made to pursue her career, missed personal opportunities, moments of self-doubt, and the challenge of navigating a world that demanded perfection from young actors. Yet she also celebrates the joys, the friendships, and the collaborative creativity that made the experience unforgettable. Over the years, Marta has embraced her status as a cultural icon, participating in conventions, fan events, and interviews that allow her to connect with generations of viewers who grew up watching the show. She acknowledges the unique responsibility of being remembered not only for her talent, but also as a representative of a pioneering era of science fiction television, one that influenced countless actors, writers, and producers who followed. Through reflection, Marta has found peace with the past, understanding that the challenges she faced on set, rivalries, misunderstandings, and the intense demands of weekly production, were not just obstacles, but formative experiences that shaped her career and her character. She emphasizes that while the drama behind the scenes was real, it did not define the entirety of her experience. Rather, it highlighted the complexities of collaboration and the human side of creating art. Today, Marta continues to engage with fans, sharing stories that inspire new generations, while also advocating for the importance of recognizing the contributions of cast and crew who worked tirelessly to bring Lost in Space to life. She speaks of mentorship, the joy of seeing young actors flourish, and the pride of knowing that her work helped pave the way for science fiction to become a respected and enduring genre on television. Marta Kristen's reflections at 80 serve as both a historical record and a personal testament, a reminder that fame is fleeting, but the lessons learned, the friendships forged, and the authenticity of experience endure far longer. Her legacy is not only the character she brought to life on screen, but also the resilience, grace, and wisdom she carries off-screen. A woman who navigated the challenges of Hollywood with courage, honesty, and a commitment to truth that continues to resonate with audiences around the world. Through her confessions and reflections, Marta Kristen has transformed decades of speculation and rumor into a story of insight, authenticity, and enduring influence, proving that the true measure of a career lies not only in performances, but also in the strength and integrity with which an artist faces every behind-the-scenes challenge and triumph.